In this video, we're going to talk about quadratic functions in standard form. Standard form of a quadratic function is ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is a constant. We also sometimes call this expanded form. And to find the vertex, we are going to use a formula to find the x-coordinate of the vertex. We're going to use this formula, negative b over 2a. So the vertex, the x-coordinate, is going to be whatever we get when we do negative b over 2a. And then the y-coordinate of the vertex is going to be what we get when we plug that value into the function to get the y value that goes with it. So f of negative b over 2a. And the axis of symmetry is still a vertical line that passes through the vertex. So it's going to be x equals whatever the x-coordinate of the vertex is. So whatever you get when you do negative b over 2a. The minimum or maximum value is going to be the y-coordinate of the vertex, just like in vertex form. And the a value actually works the same way that it does in vertex form. If a is greater than 0, then we know that our parabola is right side up and it has a minimum value, or the vertex is a minimum point. And if a is less than 0 or negative, we have an upside down parabola where the vertex is a maximum point and the function has a maximum value. And the x-intercepts we always find by setting y equal to 0. Y-intercepts are always when x equals 0. So to find x-intercepts, you're going to solve the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And for y-intercepts, well, there's only one, but you would plug 0 in for x. So you're going to do a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c. And these first two terms are always going to be 0. So c is actually going to be the y-intercept. So the y-intercept from standard form, you can actually just take that last constant. That will always be the y-intercept. So 0, comma, c. Let's look at an example. All right, remember standard form is y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. And for the vertex, we're going to use the formula x equals negative b over 2a to find the x-coordinate of the vertex. So in our parabola, a is the coefficient of x squared. That would be a 1. b is the coefficient of x, which would be negative 2 in this case, and c is negative 8, but I don't really need that for the vertex. I just need a and b. So for x equals negative b over 2a, I get negative 2 over 2 times 1. Those two negatives are going to cancel, and we get positive 2 over 2, which is 1. So that's going to be the x-coordinate of the vertex. Now to find the y-coordinate, I'm going to plug that x in and get the y that goes with it. So I plug 1 in for x and I get 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 8. That gives us 1 minus 2 minus 8, which is negative 1 minus 8, which is negative 9. And so the vertex is 1, comma, negative 9. And I'm going to go ahead and plot that point right here. The axis of symmetry is always a vertical line that passes through the vertex. It's not an actual part of the graph, it's just the line of symmetry. So x equals the x-coordinate of the vertex. X equals 1 in this case. For the minimum or maximum value, I first need to think about whether my parabola is right side up or upside down. And to do that, I look at the coefficient of x squared, the a value. and decide if it's positive or negative. In this case, A is positive, and that tells me that my parabola is right side up and has a minimum point. So the minimum value is going to be the y-coordinate of the vertex, -9. And the x-intercepts are when y is 0, and I set my equation x squared minus 2x minus 8 equal to 0 and solve. Now, solving this is a little different than what we saw in vertex form. I would say you would either use factoring, or if you can't factor, maybe the quadratic formula, or you could even use the completing the square method. But I always try factoring first. So I'm going to try to factor this trinomial. And so I put x, and I need two numbers that multiply to -8 and add to -2. So I'm going to try a 4 and a 2. And if I make this negative and this positive, we get -4x and +2x. And these two terms do add to -2x. So that worked. The solutions to this equation, which we call x-intercepts, zeros, or roots, are going to be x equals +4 and x equals -2. If you don't know how to solve quadratic equations by factoring or by the quadratic formula or even completing the square, I have videos on all of those methods. Okay, for the y-intercept, we always find y-intercepts by setting x equal to 0. So I plug in 0 for x in my equation, and 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 8 is going to be -8, because both of these parts are just going to be 0. So remember, in standard form, that c value is always going to be the y-intercept, that last constant. So that would be the point 0, -8. And I'm going to plot that right there. Using symmetry, I know I have a point over here as well. The x-intercepts, I forgot to plot those, 4 and -2. And now I can draw my parabola. Nice and smooth and curvy. Arrows on the end because it goes up forever and to the side. For the domain, it gets wider and wider forever, so the possible x values are all real numbers, or in interval notation, -infinity to infinity. For the range, the lowest y value on this graph is -9, and then it goes up from there. So range, we could say as an inequality, y is greater than or equal to -9, or in interval notation, we would do bracket -9, comma, infinity. And the interval where this function is increasing would be the part right here, where it goes up from left to right. The interval for that would be from the x-coordinate of the vertex, which is 1, and then forever as you go to the right, so to infinity. And for the decreasing interval, it decreases on the left-hand side. As you go from left to right, it's going down. And that interval would be from -infinity to 1. And here's one more example. So same thing, vertex, we're going to use the formula x equals -b over 2a. In this case, a is -3, the coefficient of x squared. B is the coefficient of x, which is 12. So -b over 2a is going to be -12 over 2 times -3. The negatives are going to cancel out, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. For the y-coordinate, we plug in the x. So -3 times 2 squared plus 12 times 2 minus 7 gives us -3 times 4 plus 24 minus 7, negative 12 plus 24 minus 7, that is 12 minus 7, which is 5. So we get the point 2, comma 5 for the vertex. I'm going to plot that. The axis of symmetry passes through the vertex. X equals whatever the x-coordinate of the vertex is, 2. The minimum or maximum value. So to tell if it has a min or max, we always look at the a value, the coefficient of x squared, and since it's negative, a is less than 0, we know we have an upside down parabola that's going to have a maximum value. And so the maximum value is going to be the y value of the vertex, which is 5. The x-intercepts, we set y equal to 0, and we solve. So we set the equation equal to 0. Negative 3x squared plus 12x minus 7 equals 0. We should always try to factor first, but I'm pretty sure this one's not factorable. So we can either use the quadratic formula or the completing the square method to solve this equation. I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So negative b is going to be negative 12 plus or minus the square root of b squared, 12 squared, minus 4a, that's negative 3, times c, which is negative 7, all over 2a, 2 times negative 3. And then we simplify. That's negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 144. I've got 3 negatives, minus 4 times negative 3 times negative 7, so that's going to be negative. 4 times 3 is 12, times 7 is 84, over 2 times negative 3, which is negative 6. So that's negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 144 minus 84. That's 60 over negative 6. And then I need to simplify my radical. So for the square root of 60, I'm going to do a factor tree. 60 is 6 times 10, 2 times 3, 2 times 5. And I look at my prime factors. I have a pair of 2's and a 3 and a 5 that don't complete pairs. So a 2 comes out front and the 3 and the 5 stay in. I get 2 square root of 15. So this is negative 12 plus or minus 2 square root of 15 over negative 6. Now, to simplify that, I could split this into 2 terms. It would be negative 12 over negative 6 plus or minus 2 square root of 15 over negative 6. And negative 12 divided by negative 6 is 2, plus or minus. That negative on the bottom kind of gets, well, it could be positive or negative because of the plus or minus in the front, so we can sort of ignore that. But the 2 and the 6 I can simplify together, making a 1 and a 3. So we get plus or minus the square root of 15 over 3. And that actually represents 2 answers. X equals 2 minus the square root of 15 over 3, and 2 plus the square root of 15 over 3. Now, it's a little tricky to change these to a decimal without a calculator. So I used my calculator. X is about 0.709 and about 3.291. So I'm going to plot those on my graph. 0.7 is about right there. 3.3-ish is about right there. And now for my y-intercept, I'm going to plug in x equals 0. But remember, when we plug in x equals 0, the first two terms become 0, and we just get -7. So 0, -7 will be the y-intercept. I'm going to plot that on my graph. And using symmetry, I plot a point on the other side of the line of symmetry, and I connect my points to form my parabola. The domain for all parabolas without restrictions is all real numbers, or -infinity to infinity. The range, all possible y values, the highest y value on this graph is -5. So we could say in inequality form y is less than or equal to 5, or as an interval, we can say -infinity to 5 with a bracket. We always have to go from low to high. The increasing interval would be the left-hand side where it goes up from left to right. That interval is -infinity to the x-coordinate of the vertex, which is 2. And the decreasing interval would be the right-hand side where it goes down from left to right. That interval would be from 2 to infinity.